Okay, hey everyone. This is a special Mama Untold Thoughts episode. I say special because I'm steering away from Mama Talk for one episode and I see so many giggles across the screen. I call you guys like my OG clique from Orleans days, high school days, university days, and now like life, right? Here we are, the four of us still talking, still gossiping, still in touch with everyone's lives. So I'm gonna let each one of you say hi and introduce yourselves. So how about Priya, we start with you. You're muted.
No. Yeah.
I knew she'd forget.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi, Priya.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Priya Bali. I grew up in Orleans. I went to Sir Will with Meenakshi. And actually, the first time that we met was in kindergarten. I still remember that.
Oh, shit, that's right. Why do I always
met in kindergarten also?
She went to Fallingbrook for like a very short
time. Yeah, I went to Fallingbrook for junior and senior kindergarten.
Oh my God, Priya, how did I not know this?
I always forget that.
Because there was Madame Kadzi.
Yes.
No, Madame, who was the other one?
Madame Giroux and Madame Kadzi. Right?
Oh no, but my senior kindergarten I was in French. Maybe that's why.
Oh.
Yeah, I think, you guys were me and Meenakshi were in the same class in kindergarten. Yeah. And then we were probably in French immersion.
God, I know who you're talking about. Madame Kadzi and then
Mrs. Cox?
Yes. Mrs. Cox.
Yes. With the white silver hair.
Yes.
I think everybody remembers her.
Yeah, so since I guess junior kindergarten, then senior kindergarten, I went to French. And then somehow grade 9, I see this girl walking by and I'm like, I know her. I don't know how I know her. Do you know the number of times I do that to people? It's so creepy.
That's so true. Yeah, because we didn't see each other after kindergarten.
Yeah, and then we met in grade
9. That's crazy.
Very crazy. It's a small world.
It's a small world.
Well, Orleans is small.
It's true. We're all from Orleans, FYI. This is like...
But you know what was always weird to me? Was that in elementary school, I always felt like the only brown girl, at least in my grade.
Yeah.
With one other girl, but then when we got to Sir Will, everyone was brown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Same.
And I was always like, where was everyone?
It's like everyone was like hiding in their little pockets, and then all of a sudden we got to high school. It was like everyone was unleashed.
Yeah.
Seher, we've known each other since what, grade 6, 7?
Grade 6.
Grade 6. I think grade 6. We were the first to start at Maple Ridge.
Yeah.
That's how we met each other. And we were the only brown girls at the school at the time.
Well, I don't even think we knew we were brown.
I don't think so either. I think we were just because we were so immersed in like white culture. We just never, we didn't really know.
White culture.
It's true though. It was like, there was like no diversity in elementary.
I know, because in elementary you're trying to fit in like the white girl, and then you get to high school and like you're just like, oh my God, where have all these people been all my life?
Exactly.
But like to your point, like I didn't even realize in elementary school like how like secluded we were, but we weren't. Like it just felt normal until you get to that place and you're just like, oh, this is different.
But I think like, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong in thinking this, but I think in like those years, like grade 6, 7, and 8, because we were like growing as, young ladies and like hitting puberty and like, discovering ourselves and boys and oh my God, like recess, we hold hands all of a sudden. But like, I felt like it was a huge hit on me because my parents were not used to all of a sudden like me talking to boys and boys calling the house and boys showing up at my doorstep and my dad's like, who the F is this guy? Like,
In grade 6? I'm like, what? I'm in grade 6.
Yeah, but Sahara, do you not feel it? Like that's what we were going through, and like all the other girls were like, their parents seemed cool about it, but like ours were just like, fuck that shit.
Remember my mom calling me and saying, "You were sitting in the lawn with the boy."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah, crazy. That was going out at the time.
Yeah, that was going out. The innocence.
Sitting together on the lawn.
Yeah. And then Batul, I've known since kindergarten. Her mom used to babysit me and my brother.
Yeah. Because, and I always tell this story, I'm like, me and Meenakshi, who are best friends now, started off like super rocky.
Yeah.
Because she used to tease me a lot in kindergarten and kind of like a, but like, you know, you would like push me around, you'd push me off the swings, and I was like a quiet, like really introverted kid, and like you were like very outgoing, and in kindergarten we'd have like our cubbies, and mine was like right at the end, so you would like push me until I would fall off the bench. Oh my God. And then one day I came down the stairs and I saw you in my basement because I guess my mom, who was a babysitter at that time, she had a home daycare, was going to do like before and after school for you and TJ.
That's right.
And I was like, oh my God. Like, why is
he here?
Yeah, but I think that was the beginning of like us kind of like mending our differences. And then I think there was a break because then you switched schools for a bit. I went to Maple Ridge and then connected in school, right?
Yeah, and then we connected back in high school. It's true. Like, it's so funny how we all met at different times, and then like we talked about earlier, we all just like reconnected in high school.
Mm-hmm.
What's all of your favorite memories of high school?
Sorry, cut out. Could you say that again?
Oh, I said, what's all of your favorite memories of high school?
What? Oh man.
Okay,
just hanging out like in the rotunda, like between classes and lunch. Yeah, that was like the spot, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Yeah, I think one thing that sticks out for me was that grade 10 dance that we did. The surprise dance that we couldn't tell anybody about.
Oh, for Foods Fest?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Food Fest, yes.
Yeah. Food Fest was always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was like the highlight of the year. Sahara, do you have a favorite memory?
No, I can't. I'm trying to think so far back.
Your birthday was a good one. I think it was, I don't remember how old you were turning or what grade it was, but you had a birthday at Eastside Mario's. Do you remember that?
That was my 16th birthday.
It was your
Oh no.
That birthday, the Dithu showed up.
I think a lot of people showed up, but it was so much fun.
That birthday is such a blur to me. Well, you mentioned it to me the last time we spoke, and I was just kind of
think so.
Any of that,
you know? Yeah, and it's so funny because like, okay, so I feel like in high school, like Priya was always a really good girl. Like Priya didn't wild out until like later on. You know, she was very proper. She was very, like, she didn't do anything bad. Like, I feel like it was more of, like, us that were, like,
but then she would get mad at us because we were, like,
oh, my God.
Starting to, like.
Trouble and lectures. And, she was Mama P.
Oh, my God.
And then she got into, then she wilded out later on. So I think Sahara's birthday, I may have traumatized her a bit. I'm so very sorry.
That's okay.
And we won't get onto the details of what it was about. But yeah, it's always a night that kind of stood out.
But it's so true, right? I think like you said, Batul, but Priya was like always that one that like had a close eye on us to be like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing with your life?
What are you guys doing? No, we can't do that. Yeah, exactly.
I think,
You know what's funny is that even now, whenever I'm with a group of people, I'll let everyone do whatever they want to do, but I'm like I'm like watching everyone.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's a good quality.
It is. It definitely is. Like, we had to have somebody who is like the balancing act, right?
I have just natural motherly instincts.
Oh yes, Mama P.
There was so many birthdays that were just like full of memories and laughs and some interesting moments too.
Yep.
Maybe we won't get into too much detail about all of these birthdays.
Remember my 16th birthday?
What's that?
Remember my 16th birthday?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh my God.
Such a there were so many things that were happening at once. And okay, I'm not going to get into details, Priya, but let me just tell everyone that your birthday was happening at your parents' house. Okay. That's a big, let me set the tone here. Yeah, it was a big, you had your friends, you had your family, you had family friends there, but then so much bam, bam, bam was going on, and we're just we're all just partying in your basement.
I remember I was on the phone being like, where are you?
Yeah, it was, that was fun. That was fun. Okay, you guys tell me if you don't want to answer this question or not, but what was the one thing that you could maybe change if you could go back in time to high school days?
None of it.
Yeah, I don't think I would change anything either.
Interesting. I
would change one thing.
Okay.
Well, I grew up super sheltered, super naive, super just not understanding dating, zero knowledge whatsoever. And that's just because I was just so in my own shell. I didn't really, come out of it until I was in university, when I just started to explore that a little bit more. But the reason why I say that is when I hit university, I had gone on 3 or 4 separate dates, and I didn't even know they were dates. But I think if I explored that a little bit more in high school, in high school, I think in university, I would have been more open to it or understand it better. Once I was even asked out on a date with someone that I had a huge crush on, and I was just like, oh no, I have dance practice, I gotta do blah blah blah. I didn't even know.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I guess high school kind of sets that tone for us going forward, right? But I think that's part of us growing up in this culture, right? We are taught to be sheltered, don't talk about boys, don't talk about relationships, don't talk about sex or anything, right? It's just they're all such taboo topics, so that we just naturally fall into this this shell, right?
Yeah, but I think that would be one thing that I would change. Everything else was fine. Life happens the way it happens, but that's just one thing I'd be okay, I would change that.
Yeah.
What about you, Meenakshi?
I never get asked questions on so I'm not prepared. Would I change anything? You know what? No. I think every experience that at least I went through in high school, just helped me grow as a person, right? So, yeah, sure, had I wished that I didn't say certain things or maybe reacted certain ways, probably. But I think meeting you guys and meeting so many others in high school and even, having some innocent relationships as well, it just helped with the process, right? So yeah, I don't think I'd necessarily change anything. I think everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So Batul, you and Sahara, you're good too.
Well, I don't know. It's interesting because I wouldn't change anything like, because I met my husband in high school, and we had a huge, you know, like we started dating when we were really, really young, and you know, we were in a really intense like romantic relationship, and then, you know, I think that started in grade 9, 10, and then we had a huge breakup in the summer of, you know, grade 10, and then grade 11 was when, I don't know, I think like we were always friends, but I think our friendship like really blossomed for me because you guys were there to kind of like pick up the pieces. And so I wouldn't change it, but I think like, you know, if I could like give advice to my kids, like my daughters, I would probably encourage them to not get into like a really invested, super intense romantic relationships when they're so young.
Yeah.
Cause like you're just learn, you know, take that time to get to know who you are and, you know, make friends and meet people and experience things, and save that stuff for later.
Yeah.
But
Good thing with you and T is he was always older, right? Or he is.
yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
He graduated. He left. So you still had your time.
Yeah.
Your high school thing and be your own.
It's true. Yeah, for sure. And I think like, however, in the early stages of the relationship, I was like in a bubble where I was like, it's only about him. And so I feel like for me, like my place in our group, like I became really, really close to you guys. Like we were like after we had broken up, and then however, moving forward when we got back together, like that sort of bond between us stayed, because when I was really young, like I focused everything on him, and I didn't realize like the importance of like retaining those female relationships and how important that is to like your development and your life. Right. So that's why I feel like everything happened the way it was meant to happen. And that's why I wouldn't change anything. And like, you guys were such a gift to me at the right time in my life when I really needed the support. And yeah, like you guys were there and continue to be there. Like
shedding tears.
I know.
No, you have, because like we got back together, and then like, you know, so many things have happened, and you guys have always just showed up. Like you guys show up for everything, whether it's marriage or babies or like, you know, any celebration. Like it's like no matter how long we haven't talked to each other, or you know, we're always there for each other. So 100%. I think that's something really special that that I'm just happy that everything happened the way it did in high school. So
it's so true. And I think that's what I admire. I mean, it's not what I think. I know that's what I admire so much about us, is that like we've literally gone through, you know, all of us respectively have gone through our own things in life, but yet we still maintained like some sort of a connection, right? Like whether it be, we may not talk to each other every day, but like every so often we're checking in and we're asking each other, how you doing? What's happening in life?
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought it was just so fitting to like do this, because I think it's something that needs to be, you know, shared and valued and appreciated, that these are friendships, right? And this is, you develop these friendships throughout life, and we're always there for each other. So not to get all sentimental.
I think it's too late for that.
But they'll started it.
I know.
I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. But it's true.
It's so true. And like on that note too, so like, okay, after high school, like, we, you know, we had prom, we graduated, we had our commencement, and then we all kind of went our separate ways, right? Like I went to Carleton, Sarah, you went to Algonquin, Priya and Batul went to Ottawa U, and then we just kind of like all branched out and like discovered ourselves in different ways.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
did we hang out when we were in our university college days?
No,
I don't think
did in like fourth year university. Well, at least I did with you guys.
Yeah.
We still stayed in touch, and we were always, you know, there for one another. But I think not hanging out as much, maybe for like special occasions and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's why one of my favorite memories of us is Thanksgiving weekend of what year was it? I don't remember.
2012?
Then 2012. Yes, it was 2012. Because that was the first time in a long time we all got back together, and we were all at like different phases in our life. Like, I had just gotten married, and I think I was like starting my master's. I think Priya and Sahara were in Toronto, had moved from Ottawa to Toronto, which was like a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And Meenakshi, I think you're like starting off your career in the government, and like, yeah, we just all came together and had this like wicked weekend. That was so
much
fun.
And we still talk.
Was that Priya?
We still talk about it.
We still talk about like reliving a weekend like that again.
That Pilu song is always going to remind me of that weekend.
Which song?
What song?
I don't know what movie it was from again.
What song was it?
Pilu.
You have to sing it now.
Oh,
It reminds me of that weekend. I think it came on the car, and Priya was like, "Oh my god, I love this song," and it clicked for me.
Oh my god, I don't even remember. Honestly, there's like certain things from that weekend that are just like a blur, not just because of the obvious.
Here.
Yeah, I remember that song.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Priya, you were singing it in probably one of the cabs we were in.
I don't remember that.
I think.
Oh my gosh. Another thing from that weekend, Batul.
Oh my god.
Is at one point, no, it's nothing bad. You were like, I'm like, oh, I don't have a strapless bra. You're like, take mine. You're like, not my size.
Oh my god.
It was so much fun because I don't think we've ever had like that opportunity to just like hang out, like sleep in one. We were all sleeping in one room.
We were all sleeping in one room, like on the floor.
Yeah.
Wait a second. We had Batul's bachelorette party.
Oh yes.
Oh shit, yes. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, that's
that
right.
That was also really fun. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Out of all that, I will still never forget when we all got back to our room and not to the bedroom and like a sheer like glass, but you could see like the silhouette. And she was just like on the bed dying laughing.
And I don't remember what she was laughing about, but she was like cackling like a hyena, and I couldn't remember why. And she literally like her body just like collapsed onto the bed. And I'm just like, what? And I think it was right after we did our reenactment of the whole burlesque theme we learned earlier that day. Yeah, because we did a burlesque sort of striptease kind of routine where like professional dancers, like I think they were not strippers. They're professional dancers.
Pole dancers. They were pole dancers.
Pole dancers, yes.
Yeah.
That taught us like this very sexy number. And so we got back finally from the club, like it was super late, and you can imagine our state. But I think like we started like reenacting our little dance, and maybe that had like, do you guys remember that?
I think there were many factors. I'll spare the details.
I just remember sitting like watching TV, and she's just like dying laughing. I turned around, I'm like,
yeah, I remember that too. I remember that.
All I remember is you guys were all just like munching away quietly, like watching TV. And meanwhile, here I am just like by myself in the bed laughing.
Oh my god, I wish I knew why. I don't know if there was a reason.
There had to have been a reason. I wasn't like I'm sure there was a reason. But there was just so many things that happened that day too that was just like I'll never forget it. Like it's just, it's something that'll always stay with me. And then like Thanksgiving. And it was so fun because like it's true, Priya and Sahara had just moved to Toronto, and we were just like, that was another like piece of our lives, like us, right? Like where some of us were now moving out to another city and like, discovering lives there. And then Batul and I were just like, oh my God, like we're being left behind in Ottawa. We need to go visit them.
Desperate because I got married and then I moved into the basement of like my husband's parents' house. So we were young. Like I just started a master's program. I think T was like a contract job. Like we were broke. I mean, whatever. Like I'm not gonna lie. And not like an extremely like fun experience to be a newlywed and living, with your in-laws. So I was in like desperate need of like a girl's getaway. And I was so in awe of like Priya and Seher, who just like picked up and left Ottawa and started this like fun life. And you had a big apartment downtown. Like, anyway, it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. And I've been trying like so hard since that weekend to try and like replicate something, but it's just life
have been that, but it's so hard. Yeah. Cause everybody has their lives and things going on, but I mean, that's no excuse. We should totally do it.
It's long overdue.
Once isolation is over and once there's a vaccine.
I feel like just from isolation, we're just appreciating all those little things that we kind of took for granted, like visiting people and like hugging them and just like the little things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what happened? So we had Thanksgiving weekend, and then did I get married next or Seher? Seher, when did you get married?
No, you got married next.
It was me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was me, and then
Batula.
Well, Batula was already married.
I was already married.
Okay, yeah.
Thanksgiving, 2012, I was already married.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then, I think it was Menashe who got married after that.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then, and then Seher, and then babies came along after that. And then, like here we are. So maybe we can talk a little bit about life after that weekend, after Thanksgiving weekend. What's been popping since?
After that Thanksgiving 2012?
Yeah, because I mean, like I feel like I got busy. Well, I mean, Batula, you can relate, like with kids, like life just happened.
Of course, yeah.
We just got whatever, like tied up in that, and but like, what's been going on? Because I feel like I'm kind of out of the loop. I know I kind of keep in touch with like Priya randomly and Seher randomly, and then Batula, of course, we talk baby talk like a lot of the time.
Of course.
But yeah. Priya, I feel like you want to say something and you're just holding.
Well, I was just kind of like, who's going first?
Go for it.
No, I mean, I guess since 2012 was when I moved to Toronto. And now this May, actually, it'll be 8 years.
Okay.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which it's kind of crazy because like when I say 8 years, I'm kind of like, that's not that long. But then like all the things that have happened since 2012 till now, like there's been so much. And when you think of those things, like it's a long time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're new in Toronto?
Do I feel like I'm new? No.
See, I do. I feel like I'm still new here.
No, I do not feel new. I feel like well, I'm not constantly bumping into people, but like I feel like more often than not now I am.
Good.
And like it's interesting. It's like when you move to Toronto for the first time, coming from Ottawa, being a small town girl, you're like, Toronto's so big, but like 8 years later, being in Toronto, it's really not.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your was it for work, Priya, you moved, or was it just because you wanted to get out of Ottawa?
No, well, I wanted to get into the pharma industry. And I was specifically looking into getting into advertising, and like they didn't have that in Ottawa. Like Ottawa's mostly like government jobs.
Yeah.
And Toronto, obviously being Toronto, like there's like booming. It's like, a lot, private sector. I would say maybe now those types of roles are more so in Ottawa, but back then there weren't anything like that at all. So like what I did is I took a transfer from Drive Test, moved to Toronto, and then while I was there, I was like, I'm just going to interview while at least I'm making some kind of money. Date was living with my cousin, and luckily within the first 3 months, like I landed a pharmaceutical advertising position.
Good for you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was like it was such a bold move, right? Like you picked up and you did it.
Yeah, and like I think it was like a 2 weeks like from when I made the decision to when I moved. It was really quick.
Do you think you'd ever move back to Ottawa? No,
I
really?
don't see her moving back to Ottawa. I don't think so.
No,
I don't see her doing that.
I knew when I was in high school I wanted to move to Toronto.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't know why. I've just always felt like I was a city girl.
Mm.
Yeah, I see you more as like a bigger city girl for sure.
And like, and now that I'm in Toronto, I'm like, let's go to New York. I don't know.
Yeah. What's next?
But I mean, I'm in Toronto now, so I don't have any plans of moving or anything.
Yeah.
But I've always felt like I've been a city girl, and like just Toronto, there's so much to do all the time. You know, obviously the summer is such a shame with isolation, but in the summers, like every weekend, there's some sort of a street festival, and like I would get comments randomly from people being like, oh my God, you do so much stuff. Like your stories look crazy. Like your summer's been hectic. I'm like, I just go to street festivals. You can go there too.
Honestly though, I am one of those people where I'm just like watching your stories. And Batula and I often say this, we feel like we're living
Yes.
Korea. Because we're just going to all these awesome things and here we are just like
Here we are, like,
Yeah,
in our
watching-
sweats, like home with babies, like.
But that's like just what's so
Reminiscing.
great about Toronto. Like there's always something new happening,
Mhm.
and there's always a new bar. There's always a new restaurant you want to try, and like I think that's just the beauty of it. You know, you'll never get bored. And even if you like want to have a family or you settle down, you know, like those things will always be there for you to do.
It's so
Yeah.
true. How about you, Sahara? You went for work too, right? No? What did you go for?
She wanted to pursue
Cool.
fashion.
That's right. So cool.
Yes.
Did a year, dropped out, worked full time, and that was it.
Wow.
But you worked up like at Banana Republic, like, you know.
Until I got laid off. And then, I mean, now I work for one of the biggest luxury companies.
Yes.
I was gonna say Miss Dior.
Dior, right?
Miss Dior.
Miss Dior.
Very
Awesome.
You worked a long time at Banana Republic though before you got to do like how many years were you at Banana?
12 years.
Yeah, a long time. And then you moved up to like a managerial position before this whole
Yeah.
No.
You were a Banana before you moved.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You got transferred, right?
Yes.
12 years.
Wow.
And then you were working like at the Eaton Center, right? Like you were like right in the center.
And worked while I did school, and then positions became available for full-time work. So I was like, I need money. So I was like, I'm just gonna work full-time. And then that was it. Yeah.
So awesome.
Crazy.
And do you think you'll ever move back to Ottawa?
Honestly, the housing is much better in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So I have looked into buying a house in Ottawa,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
Do it.
Yeah.
People and I went on a drive in Navin. We took our grandmother out for a drive because like she's stuck in the house all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just go out for a drive. And so we were in Navin, and we went into like these random streets. The houses are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like telling Sheetha, I was like, let's find a house that's on sale. I want to see how much like it is around here.
Yeah.
We go past this house and it's massive, like huge property, and we look it up, and it was only 900,000. And
She says only 9.
only,
I'm like, that sounds like a lot of money.
and because in Toronto, that's
Yes, of course.
definitely closer to 2 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a totally different scene in Toronto right now.
Mm.
so yes, I moved to Ottawa.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would, eh?
Well, Sarah, I hope you do come back
Mhm.
selfishly.
Sarah, would
you
you come
too.
It's my decision ultimately.
I know.
Sarah, would you go back if Brown wanted to? Would you go?
In a heartbeat.
Really?
Honest to God, living here, yes, I'm married. Okay, I have my own house. It's not home for me.
Mm.
My parents aren't here.
Mm.
And for me, it's like you really appreciate them more when you leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
And that's the thing. Yeah.
It's so true.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So I tell them to move here all the time. I'm like, sell the house, rent it out when like Fanu goes and gets married or whatever. I don't know. Like, come live in a condo here. They don't need a house, or come live with me. Like that's our game plan. Like that's what we've discussed as the four of us.
It's so funny because like I tell my parents to do that all the time, to like just sell the house and move into a condo, and they would never do it. Like to them, a condo is like so suffocating.
Yeah.
A bungalow.
What's that?
Like a bungalow.
Yeah, that's what they're in right now. But then like my dad's still complaining about like, oh, I have to mow the lawn, or I have to like shovel the snow, or like.
The funny thing is they complain about it, but like I don't know about your parents. My dad complains all the time, but he loves it.
I know.
Like he loves the lawn. He loves being outside.
Yeah.
Like so it's like you're right. They're house people.
I know. So is this how we normally catch, like this is how we catch up? Is there anything else you guys want to share, or like
Wait, did you say is this how we normally
been like an actual like PG rated catch up?
Carries?
Oh my God.
Share now.
I would say this is pretty PG rated for the way we normally catch up. Yes, we're on our best behavior.
We are.
Well, okay, how's Mat Leave going?
It's okay. It's different this time.
Different. Yeah.
I kind of feel like that one-on-one time's been robbed a little bit. Because I have Amia home and Matt home, which isn't bad. Like it's also nice because like everyone's like together and we get to we get to hang out and do fun things, but then also at the same token it's like, well, I don't get to give my like 100% attention to Eliza, so it's a little weird in that sense, but it's all right. It's at the end of the day, I'm grateful for having each other and just being home safe together.
Exactly.
Well, do you think that's isolation, or just because like it's your second child, so like naturally, your youngest wouldn't get 100%, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, Amia was still going to daycare, so she was out of the house for like 7.5 hours in the day. So at least I had that time with Eliza, but then, of course, then she'd come home and then yes, it'd be the two of them, and then Eliza just kind of was there.
I think also like when you think about having your second child, you're like very strategic in the sense that like, okay, well, my older one will be full-time in daycare and I'll be able to like have this bonding time and I'll manage fine because I've got the day, and then, my other one will come home, and like you have this plan in your head. Mm-hmm. So for COVID to come up, like, I don't know, it's just like such unprecedented times and everyone's dealing with the unknown, and yeah, for sure. It's a different dynamic.
Oh, 100%. It is. But it's all good. We'll get there. I just love how we're like keeping in touch and we're all checking in with each other, and whether it's through Zoom and me kind of saying, hey guys, I have this crazy idea. Let's do a recording.
And nobody hesitated. We're like, all right, girl, we'll do it.
I loved it. I was just like, because it was literally like one of those random like Meenakshi thoughts. And then I just like put it out there in the group message, and I was expecting like, oh my God, no, like, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to
No, we would never say no to you.
So it's so sweet that you guys did this. I'm so happy we were able to do this.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. And so like not related to anything that we're talking about, but when was the last time any of you did something for the first time?
Oh God.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a hard question, right?
It's a really hard question.
Cherries.
What?
You say cherries. Change of subject. That's
I thought you said Harry's, and I'm like, what's
Harry? I heard Perry's. I was like Perrier?
Oh my God.
Bangs. That's for the first time. There we go.
You got bangs?
You got your own bangs?
Yeah, I cut my little wisps.
Oh.
There you go.
That counts.
Yeah.
It does count.
But will that be the last? Wait, Does that make sense? Will that be the
The
last?
last time you did something for the first time.
Oh, the last. Okay.
Time this week for the first time.
I can't think of anything. I mean, I learned how to make like, I don't know, balak paneer in quarantine
That's pretty impressive.
because I was like missing my mother-in-law's balak so much, and I've never attempted to make it. So I just had to go at it, and it took me a couple times, but I think I've like mastered my own version. And yeah, I don't know. It's not very exciting, but it's exciting for me.
That's cool. I made tiramisu.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
How did it turn out?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So, maybe Sarah.
That's tricky to do.
Have you ever been to Sugo?
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
She knew before you even finished.
I know.
Did they have a recipe that you like that they gave like you?
they released it,
Oh.
and so I decided to make it. And like, it was big. Like, it was like literally like this big.
Amazing.
And I was just like, you know what? Screw it. Like, if there's a tiramisu that I'm going to make, it'll be the Sugo
And it
tiramisu.
tastes like it?
It was so good.
Did you eat all of it?
No, I ended up delivering
Oh, okay.
to like some family members, and then I honestly only got like this much of it. But it was so
So
good.
generous, Priya.
I know.
No.
I didn't get any of that delivery, by the
Me
way.
neither. I was just gonna say.
It could only match 2 deliveries. I mean, we're 6 people in this house.
It's true. We were talking about eggs the other day, like a carton of eggs. And I was telling Priya, I'm like, you know, there's like a 2-person limit, or a 2-carton limit per person. And she's like, oh, really? We're like 6 people in this house. We're like, if you add that up, like 2 people are eating like, 2 eggs a day or whatever. Like you're down to like nothing by the end of the day.
But so I live beside a metro, and there's never a lineup.
Metro is pretty good. Metro hasn't really had lineups in like the Fallingbrook Plaza, right?
Yeah, but I think
they're
it's
pretty
also
good.
because Metro's just more expensive
Yeah, it's
than like
true.
the rest. So, like the mascarpone at Metro was 15, but when I went to Walmart, it was like 11.
It's true.
Send me that recipe.
Oh yeah, I'll send it. It's really good.
Is it difficult?
I would. No, it's really easy. I would just cut the ingredients in half.
Okay.
And just omit the alcohol.
What?
Because there's a lot.
My
There's
mom
alcohol in tiramisu.
This
Yeah.
one.
My mom didn't know that either, and she loves it.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my lord. Oh boy. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, send it to me.
Better yet, Priya, just make it again and
Make sure I'm on the drop-off list.
yes, please. Thank you.
I could, and I don't have to buy the alcohol again. So.
Yeah. Oh my god, you guys, this has been so much fun. I know it's late and we all want to probably get to bed. But thank you. Thank you all for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. This is fun.
Thank you. And
I
we're
actually wanna-
all very proud of you. We I just wanted to say that as well. We're very proud of you for following your passion and tapping into your creativity and starting this channel. And just it takes a lot of like guts and bravery because so many people have ideas, but I think it takes a lot of bravery to actually pursue it, and you did, and it's doing great. And
the
I hope
tears
it
are
blows
flowing.
up. I'm getting all
Leave it to
sentimental again.
control. No, that's so
Yeah, so we're
sweet.
very proud of you and very happy for you that you have started this.
Mhm. We're very supportive.
Support. I really appreciate it, and I feel it. I feel it from you guys for sure. So, thanks.
Always.
I actually want to I know this is like, oh, I'm like closing up, but I actually just remembered like a really fond memory of us in high school, and I just love this moment because it was so heartwarming. It was so nice to see all of us connecting over this like little thing. It was that day that we got our hair and makeup done for our graduation pictures.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like our first moment where we got glammed up together and like You know what I mean? Like when did we ever do that again? I don't think we did. And it was,
did.
yeah.
I remember that day I went over to Sahir's house and your cousin was it that did her makeup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember being in class. That was the first time that I've ever worn that kind of makeup. Ever.
Same. Yeah.
And so I still remember being in one of my classes, like in a portable, and this girl turns around. She's like, "Oh, you're actually like really pretty." And I was just like, "Just the makeup."
Yeah. It's so true. Oh, I love it. I love our bond. I love our friendship, and I just can't wait to see it grow even further. Yay.
Yay.
At my wedding.
What? Which day?
Just the next
Yes,
up,
we
my
still have
wedding.
Priya's wedding to look forward to.
Honestly, yeah. Priya, but you do you whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
we're here for you. We're here for you regardless. But like whenever that time comes, we'll be there. Yay. Okay, thanks again, girls. Have a great night and love to all of you.
Love you.
Mwah.